Ladies and gentlemen, I am bringing you this Bitcoin update to show you a chart that has been pretty good in predicting where Bitcoin will go and what exactly will happen in Bitcoin. This is a chart, guys, that predicted the bounce on Bitcoin even though Bitcoin broke below the descending wedge, a chart that invalidated this breakdown as a fake out and led to the bounce. Now, what is this chart, guys? Surprisingly, this is actually the Ethereum chart. We'll look at that in a second. Just 15 seconds before we get into the video here, guys. VIP sale right now, mid-year sale on VIP, up to 110 USD discount on VIP memberships. On Telegram, 5 trading signals, 3 to 5 trading signals a week. This sale will last 6 days from the time making this video, and it will be the last sale of this year. So this is your time to get access to the VIP group for cheap. Now we can jump straight into the video without further ado. Guys, it's going to be a quick video today, and I just want to cover this main point. What happened with Bitcoin, okay? In order to understand what's going on with Ethereum, in order to understand why Ethereum is relevant to Bitcoin, we need to understand what exactly happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin had, and you might remember me talking about this a lot, I'm going to make it pink so you can see it. Bitcoin had an uptrending support line, okay? An uptrending support line that I actually said would be likely to be retested if we broke this wedge to the downside. Now, Bitcoin broke the wedge to the downside, okay? But we didn't actually test the uptrending support line. We got close to it. We got within like 500, 600 USD. We didn't quite test it though. Now, this uptrending support line, okay, and I illustrated this perfectly at the time, was reflected on charts like the total cryptocurrency market cap, okay, and on charts like Ethereum. Now, let's start with the total cryptocurrency market cap. This is a chart that measures the entire USD value of the cryptocurrency market. When we had this breakdown below the descending wedge on Bitcoin, we actually had the breakdown below the total cryptocurrency market cap's uptrending line, okay? Now, this was bad, and this was potentially indicating that, you know, the total cryptocurrency market cap could have been foreshadowing what was going to happen with Bitcoin, could have been foreshadowing the fact that Bitcoin would break below this line. Now, you might be thinking, well, why didn't it happen? Well, I'll tell you why it didn't happen. Ethereum also had a similar uptrending yellow line. It had a solid uptrending yellow line stemming back from the same period of time. All of these uptrending lines, you might be thinking, oh, Wolf, you're just drawing lines out of nowhere. No, all of these uptrending lines stem from the same point in time. They stem from December 2022, okay? They retested on March, okay, and they came across and almost got retested again. Okay, December 2022, retested in March, came across, broke below actually. This one actually came from November, but was retested in December, went through to March, and got retested again. Now, the reason why the Ethereum line held and the other lines didn't is because the Ethereum line was actually more important. It was more valid. Why was it more valid? Guys, here's why, okay? Bitcoin only had 2 retests of this line. Total cryptocurrency market cap only had 2 retests of this line before breaking down. Ethereum had 3 retests of this line. 1, 2, in fact, 3, 4 probably, right? Because there's 2 separate retests here. Now, what this shows us is that even though Bitcoin, Ethereum, and total cryptocurrency market cap generally form the same structures, and each structure kind of foreshadows what's going to happen with the other one. For example, if Bitcoin breaks below a line that all 3 of these charts have, it probably means the other ones are going to. If the total cryptocurrency market cap breaks above a triangle that all these ones have, it probably means the other ones are going to, meaning Bitcoin, Ethereum are going to go up. But the reason why we actually held support here on Ethereum, even though, you know, Bitcoin was on the verge of a breakdown, even though total cryptocurrency market cap was breaking down, is because this line on Ethereum was more valid, and hence it was the important line to hold. Now, if we sat here, okay, a few weeks ago, and we saw that Ethereum lost this line, Ethereum had the most valid line. Now, I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. The point is, these 3 charts, total cryptocurrency market cap, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, they generally move pretty similar. They're all correlated, right? They move pretty similar. They look pretty similar, okay? They're not the same, but they look similar. Hence, the patterns that form on them are also pretty similar. Hence, if one of them breaks below a pattern, it's very likely the other 2 as well. The other 2 will as well. Now, these charts all form the same uptrending line, but Ethereum's line was the most valid line. And so even though we broke down in total cryptocurrency market cap, and even though we looked like we were going to break down on Bitcoin, the fact that Ethereum bounced, you know, foreshadowed Bitcoin having a fake out of this wedge and seeing a massive pump to the upside. So Ethereum, in a way, even though it didn't directly do it, the Ethereum chart actually saved Bitcoin from dropping below its line in a similar fashion that the total cryptocurrency market cap did. And if Ethereum dropped below its line and Bitcoin did as well, Bitcoin would have been going downwards and testing this key range and potentially being in a very dangerous zone, potentially even dropping back into this range that we saw, between around June 2022 and March 2023. So the key point I'm trying to get across right now, and I'm gonna get into the next topic in a second, is that Bitcoin was kind of saved by Ethereum. And the fact that Ethereum had that major support line, the fact that that support line still is a major support line with, 5 separate retests now, means that this support line on Ethereum is almost more important than any other current support line on Bitcoin. And so in order to understand the Bitcoin chart right now, in order to understand where's Bitcoin's safety zone, how low can Bitcoin go right now? Because, there is a chance Bitcoin sees a correction, potentially down to 28.6K, 29K, whatever, in order to understand what's the lowest point Bitcoin can go to remain healthy, we can kind of look to the past and say, well, actually, Ethereum saved Bitcoin, back a few weeks ago, so maybe it's this line on Ethereum, this yellow line on Ethereum, we should be watching rather than any particular level on Bitcoin. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say this right now, guys. I think that for all intensive purposes, from the best of my knowledge on analysis, the best of my knowledge on the correlation between Ethereum, Bitcoin, total cryptocurrency market cap, I will actually sit here and say pretty confidently that I believe that this uptrending line on Ethereum is probably one of the most major things for Bitcoin right now. So I will be watching this uptrending line very, very closely. Now, the good news is this. Ethereum is in a descending it's almost a descending wedge formation on the RSI, okay? So yes, Ethereum could go downwards, retest the RSI, potentially even retest the solid line, which means Bitcoin could go downwards, retest 28.6K, 29K, but overall, the descending wedge formation makes it pretty likely that Ethereum should be breaking to the upside on the RSI, which should give it upwards momentum in the price chart, meaning that Ethereum is quite likely to be breaking above this red line here, breaking back into its bullish playground, and the same thing should be happening for Bitcoin as well. It's just whether we see a correction first or not. So in the occurrence of a correction, which I cannot confirm or deny is going to happen at this point in time, the short-term analysis simply isn't clear. We'll bring that chart up in a second. But in the occurrence of a correction on Bitcoin, of a correction on Ethereum, I think that this line here, this yellow uptrending line for Ethereum, actually is going to hold a lot of weight for Bitcoin as well. So that is what I'm going to be watching. I'm telling you this because you guys can go ahead and chart it up on your chart as well and set an alert on that line. Watch that line because it's very important not only for Ethereum, but for Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market as well. So what about short term? Well, I've been saying in this video there's a chance for a correction, of course. It's just hard to say. It's just really hard to say because there's no real structure here, right? I'd say a correction is probably more likely at this point still, but I don't see any structure here. Look at this. What is that? That's not a structure. There's no charting formation there. If anything, it's probably, if anything, it's probably some sort of, horizontal channel formation. It's something, maybe even a bull flag is a massive stretch, but it could be a bull flag forming. There's just not enough retests to really confirm anything. So I don't really know what this charting pattern formation is, but what I can say is that on the hourly RSI, we do have a descending channel formation, which is likely to break to the downside. So I would say that, low volatility at resistance is not generally a good sign. I would say Bitcoin is probably looking at a small correction. It wouldn't be too major, I don't think. Probably, as I said, something down to 28.6, 29K. And, worst case scenario, we do the same thing on Ethereum and come down to support line. I think if we lose this yellow line on Ethereum, that could be an indication that we're going to be seeing a more extensive correction on Bitcoin of the cryptocurrency market down to something like 24K, 25K, maybe a little bit higher. And that's what we need to be watching out for, which is possible. Right, and even if we did that, we would remain macro bullish. We'd still have the Gaussian channel trend. We'd still be holding above the center line, which means we'd still be likely to go upwards long term. But basically, Bitcoin's not out of danger at all for a correction. It certainly could see a correction, and when we do see a correction, if we do see a correction, it's actually the Ethereum uptrending yellow line that we're going to be watching quite closely. So this line, as I said in the title, as I said in the thumbnail, this line, this chart will probably predict what's going to happen next with Bitcoin Best. That's not clickbait. That's not, whatever you might want to call it. That's true. This line has predicted, predict might be the wrong word, but it has foreshadowed, that's for sure, Bitcoin not seeing a massive drop below this wedge, and it foreshadowed Bitcoin seeing a fake out and a pump, and so it could be major in the future as well. We'll just have to wait and see. But guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the BitGet exchange. 5 times lower fees than Binance, 15% trading fee discount for life on this exchange, including access to an exclusive reward center. By signing up using my referral link, you'll get access to both of those things. So guys, check out this exchange, non-KYC, etc., all that stuff, low fees, everything in an exchange. Get out of the exchange FUD. There's heaps of exchange FUD going off the SEC and Binance and Coinbase. Get an exchange that's not facing any of that right now, and you can do that using my referral link below. Then we've got, guys, Crypto Academy Become a Trader course. If you want to learn how to trade, this is the place you can do it. Check out all the information which is on the website. We've got a few paragraphs here on the website that tells you about the course. We've got a unit topic list that tells you exactly what you'll receive with the number of slides, number of videos, number of worksheets, and then we have the email address on the course website here, which you can email us, cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll answer any questions you have, as well as send you the payment information. Guys, thank you for watching so much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.